Okay guys, here we are at the lag, and it's going to be very close. Oh, that's really close. And IMAJICA won the lag. This is Friday night 9 ball again, and IMAJICA gets to break. This is a winner's side match, race to 7. It's handicapped, but both players are playing scratch again, so nobody's getting any racks. Let's have a quick look at the bracket just while they're warming up in the first rack. And we are looking at this match here between Mr. Bill and IMAJICA or IMAJICA. You can see that the one loss side has still got quite a ways to go, so the winner of this match goes through to play DJ Simon, who's waiting there. And I would imagine this tournament's got a good at least another probably 90 minutes to go, but I'll long be in bed before then. So let's see where we are. Still in the first rack. Well, it's just finished here. IMAJICA managed to run out. He breaks in the second. Just a quick reminder, Mr. Bill's from the States and IMAJICA is from the Irish Republic, and quite a capable player, so this should be, it has the potential to be quite a close match. No real joy in the two here. It's an awkward shot, although there's no problem getting in the 3 should he get this in, but I don't know what Bill tried there. Maybe some extraordinary bank combo in the 9. There's a good chance for cover here if he gets the 2 ball thin enough and can get the cue ball back up the table to more or less where it was. But that's a great pot in the 2. How is his luck in the 3? It's pretty good. And you're going to have to go round the corner behind that 9 if he can. Well, he's managed to avoid it. He's checked the cue ball to prevent it from going around the corner and avoiding the 9. So the only problem I see here is getting back up the table from this 7 up to the 8 again. So he needs to leave, like the angle that the cue ball's sitting at that 7 at the moment, that's the sort of angle he needs, and that's just running a bit too much. So he's got to be careful. The obvious thing that can happen here is the in-off into the right hand middle, and he's putting bottom in the cue ball. He's managed to avoid it, but he's got no shot in the 8, so he's going to somehow try to manufacture some sort of safety here. And he's just played the roll up. Prevention's better than cure here, so rather than giving it away, he's tried to keep it tight. And Bill this time's left the option of a bank for IMAJICA. Well, he's tried to cut that and it was never really on, and that's sold that rack. So Bill's got an easy out to tie the match up at 1 rack all. And as you see at the bottom of the screen there, there's results coming in from the tournament. It's well underway. It's been on for 90 minutes now, just coming up to 9:30 PM this Friday night in Scotland. And that's well, what time's that? It's about 4 PM or something, or 4:30 PM East Coast of the States. A nice delicate cut in the 2 to hold nicely for the 4, but I think he's left it a bit straight though, so he's going to have to go forward and spin it with right hand English to come down for the 5, which he's done, and the 5 comfortably goes past the 6. He's going to play this with inside again to come across for the 7, and just kissed off the 8, and he's got a pretty straight 7, so you can just draw straight back for this 8. You've got to leave an angle to get up the 9 though, which he's done. For any relatively new players to Virtual Pool 4, Virtual Pool 4 is exactly the same as real life. In any pool or billiard game, every game's generally about getting an angle, and the angle that you get is going to set your path to the next ball. That's why when you're playing okay and you're getting the angles and you're getting position, the game seems easy. But then some other days, it just, no matter what you do, things go wrong. You end up snookering yourself behind another ball. All things go wrong. So there's no difference in this game than real life as far as that goes, because the more you practice, the better you'll get, and the more you'll learn. And Mr. Bill in this 4th rack has got a 2 racks to 1 lead, so he's got a good chance here if he can come down and miss that 7, which he's done. Good chance to build up a small lead here. And this is all just bread and butter. Just roll the 7 in. He could put the cue ball off the side rail there, and it left a nice angle again on the 7, because the natural path of the cue ball is just going to go forward if he wants and back out for the 8. And again, if we look at that, he's left it straight, so he can just draw straight back, and he's got the 9 down the rail. And that's how to simplify the game. Just get the right position, then you don't make your life hard by trying to manoeuvre the cue ball into silly situations and positions. So Bill tidies up that rack, and he's now got a 3 racks to 1 lead. And no joy again on the break, and the 2's tied up with the 7 on the left hand side, so IMAJICA doesn't look as if he's going to do a lot in this rack to start with. The 1 will cut into the middle, but he's got no real shot in the 2 at all. He's just going to have to play a good safety. Well, and that's quite a good shot. And no doubt Bill will dig out the jump stick. Yep. So he's got the hit, but he's teed up the 1 ball. Let's have a look at the angle. Well, the only thing I can say here is that for IMAJICA to split the 2, he needs to go forward. And that's worked out very nice indeed. That's a wee bit of running that you need to keep you at the table. And that 3 ball sitting there waiting to go down into that top left hand corner as we look. And he can just go forward as well, as far as he wants, so he can leave a reasonable shot down the side rail here for this 4. And now he's got to be careful, because the 5's tight in the rail. It's going to be difficult to get on the 6, but above all he needs to get an angle on this 5. And he's not got a great angle, so he's going to have to really force this to try and manoeuvre this cue ball. And his control of the cue ball is very difficult at this distance, so he's just going to have to rely on luck really to get on this 6. Well, that's very well played. I'd be happy with that. Could easily have hooked himself behind the 9 there, so that's worked out perfect. The only problem I can see is, again, he's inclined to collide with this 8 ball, and he doesn't want to draw off it and go into that corner. He's managed to avoid that, but he's going to have to pull out another good one. and he really doesn't want to make a mess here after his hard work so far in this rack. And it's looking good now. Just needs to take his time in the 8 ball. It looks simple enough, but doesn't want to get rushed on a shot. Use up the shot clock. You've plenty of time to play the shot. You've still got your extension as well. And that's just going to run a wee bit. That's okay. Thought it was going to run a bit too far. Another thing you don't want to do is spend too much time, particularly on the 9 ball. You just need to get down and hit it. So that's 5th rack gone, and IMAJICA reduces the deficit. He's now trailing by 3 racks to 2 with the break. It's winner breaks, remember. 3 ball goes into the top left, 6 is going into the bottom right. And I think he can get to that 1 ball. And he might want to try drawing off this 1 ball so he doesn't collide with this 7. And keep the cue ball round behind the 9 to come back up for that too. It looks to be on. Well, I think he's tried the more well, what looked to be the more simple shot in terms of getting the cue ball across there, but the more difficult shot in terms of the fact that he had to get a line on that 1 to pot it, and missed it by quite a bit. But he got lucky and got the cover, and Bill's missed it, so IMAJICA's now got ball in hand. So he can now set it up where he's got a nice angle to come out in the 2. And thinking ahead here, he's had a look to see where he needs to get the cue ball to have a shot on this 4. And let's see what the angle's like in the 2. Well, he is going to have to force this in if he's going to try and stun this off the side rail and come across. Well, he's left it the more challenging shot here. He's going to have to get a line in this combo in the 8 ball. I thought it'd have been better, and again that's probably down to the fact that he left himself too straight in the last shot. But he's managed to get the 8, but now you can see his problem. What does he do here? He can't bank the 4 because it's not going to go past the 7, so he's going to have to pull out a thin cut, and he's got that as well. So it looks that the match is going to be all square in a minute or so. And again, this is a tester, because if he's drawn back, he's got to get the pace right. He's chose to run it, and that's gone to probably, oh well, that's landed pretty damn good. There's a bit of luck involved in that to get that angle there to pot the 9, but they all count, and he also gets the ball in the break. So we're tied up at 3-all. Once again though, we've got balls tied up to prevent him running the rack. The 1's gone safe, the 2's safe with the 8 ball, and that 7 was being blocked by the 3. Well, I think he tried a hoorah there, and he's got lucky again. And Bill again looks as if he's going to resort to the jump stick as the saviour. He's jumped out the snooker, and he's also got covered by the 7 ball. Now I can see a shot here to get safe behind that 2 and 8. Well, I want to see that shot again. Oh dear. Well, he's managed to somehow get a sort of long-winded combo in that 7 there. And now Bill should not be looking at a shot Oh, I think he's tried a wild one there again. And has he got away with it again? Yes, he has. Unless Bill can cut this into the middle. No joy. And he didn't get any position in the 3 either, so. But it doesn't look to be a lot of damage done. It's going to take a great shot here to. He's going to pot this 2 and come down for the 3. Well, that's done one thing. That's opened up the 4 and the 8 ball. But once again, IMAJICA's got lucky. And this time Bill can't jump out. He has to kick. He's missed the kick. He's brought the 3 off the rail. He's given IMAJICA ball in hand. 4 ball is on the left hand at the top of the screen as we look at just down at the left hand corner pocket. And it's another good opportunity to get this rack under his belt. That's going very close to the rail. That's not what he wants. And he probably just roll this 3 in and leave the cue ball more or less where the 3 is. No, he's followed through it. Played the more aggressive shot. But once again though, had he been playing from where I suggested, he would have had a nice angle in the 4. But now he's got a wee bit more elaborate. He's left himself dead straight. So he's still going to have to pot this 6 from a distance. And don't forget, he's going to have to put a bit of power into it to get back for that 8 ball. So the pressure's on. Well, that was a good effort. He decided safety was going to be the better idea, but he's left a shot on for Bill. And Bill has got that wrong, because he tried to bank that up the table and he's got the double hit. And this now is a gift for IMAJICA, who should make the most of it. And that needs to bounce a bit, and that looks to be reasonably okay. Let's have a look at the angle. Well, no, it's not. It's dead straight, and this is tough because the angle that's there, the actual potting angle, means if he draws back, he's going to dangerously go close to this corner pocket here. So he's going forward. And just to cut into the left middle will do nicely. Good to see he didn't try some elaborate positional shot there by trying to make some sort of angle that wasn't there. He played the common sense shot. Looked to see where the 9 was in relation to that middle pocket and just rolled the cue ball through so that he had a reasonable shot on it. So now we've got IMAJICA into a 4 racks to 3 lead. He's getting a ball in the break. He's got a shot in the 1 onto the 5 ball. Just needs to play this dead weight to keep that 1 over that pocket as well. Won't be any problem if it goes in though, because the 2's over on the left hand side. Very adjacent to that top left hand corner pocket. And what looks to be a combo from the 3 onto the 9 down the right hand rail in a minute. That's certainly what IMAJICA will be trying. And he's played that too hard, because the problem he's got now is the cue ball's way over to the left. It doesn't give him the best sighting to line up that combo. It could have made it a lot easier had he got that cue ball over to the right hand side. So not only has he missed a combo, he's set the 3 ball over the middle. And Bill knows the importance of this rack. And just again doing the finishing touches to the rack. Just roll the 8 in and roll the 9 in, and we've got a match all tied up again at 4 racks all, with Mr. Bill breaking again in rack number 9. And a couple of balls fire into the right hand corner pocket, and also he's got himself on the 1 ball. How's that 3 looking past the 9? Well, it doesn't go, so the 3 balls only going into that middle pocket there, or the right hand middle if he gets over behind it on the left hand side. But he's really got no shot now, so Bill should really be looking to get this cue ball up the table. Well, he's lined up the combo. And 7 balls going to go in, and that very quickly takes Bill into the lead now at 5 racks to 4. Where I was looking for a wee safety shot there, Bill just decided he wasn't going to mess about and just comboed the 3 onto the 9. And now we've probably got a match on here, unless Bill stepped up the game. And that's one thing in this game, you never know. IMAJICA's maybe played his last shot in this match. As long as Bill keeps going and can get a ball in the break, he might never see another ball. And this rack looks to be all over to me because I don't see any problems. Well, commentator's curse, is it? No, he's got onto the 6. It could have so went badly wrong there. Well, there is a nice angle there, but he's just going to have to watch the pace again. And he's gone too far. He's still going to go for the cut, but it's a lot tougher than what it should have been. Well, he's went for the cut into the middle. I thought the cut into the corner was, although it was tough, was the easier shot. Well, doesn't matter, it's all over now. IMAJICA's managed to save his neck one way or another, and we're all square again at 5 racks all. This time again, no luck in the break, and that needs to slow up. He's still got a very awkward cut in this 2 ball. Well, how's that looking? He's got away with it. Well, that's one way to solve a problem. Not only the kick shot, but he's managed to somehow get the 2 ball in. And he's got a cut on the 3 into the right middle. All balls sitting wide open. And really no excuse. Well, that was... Surely wasn't he trying a combo in the 9 there? Or maybe hit it so badly that he cut the ball into the 9. I don't know what he tried. Well, once again, struggling for position. I think Bill's going to try and tuck the cue ball up here. Well, no, he's went for the cut. Well, that's a good shot. Very aggressive. Bill's in a hurry. He wants to get this match over with. And this time it's gone wrong. Let's have a look at it from that side. Yeah, he's going to have to jump out of the problem here. And of course, when you're playing a jump shot, it's very difficult to have any sort of real control over the cue ball. So the cue ball just running too far up the table here. So now what does Bill do? Well, I'm guessing he's going to go for some sort of bank here, a double probably. No, and then again he's called my bluff and went for a safety, and that looks excellently played. Got the 7 ball on the top rail and got the cue ball tied up behind the 8, so that's really giving IMAJICA a lot to think about. Now there is an angle off this left rail to get to that 7. The question is whether IMAJICA can find that angle. So that's his 30 seconds and his shot clock gone. He's into his extension, which is just the 15 seconds, but he's taking his time. Well, he might get there yet. No luck. So Bill has the ball in hand. He'll be leaving an angle on the 7, so he can just bring the cue ball up. Well, he's going a wee bit straight, but looks as if he's going to leave it. He's drawn across. Well, that's actually quite good. And just a nice natural angle to bump off the bottom rail and back up to the 9. So it's Bill that gets to the hill. Bill goes into a 6 racks to 5 lead. And he's got the break, of course. But he's not getting any luck on the break this time either, so. And the 1 ball's sitting in the open. How does that 2 ball look? Well, the 2 ball does squeeze past the 7. It's tight, but it does go. So let's see what IMAJICA can do with this opportunity. Well, that's not going to go right because they got the kick off the jaw there. How's he doing here? No, he can't make the pot angle. And you can only see the left hand edge of the 2. So you just got to hope to kick this somewhere to keep it safe. Well, if he did play the billiard there onto the 7, he was unlucky. He almost got it. The Bill's got the problem of getting on the 3. He's not come back far enough. He'll still go for it though. And he just needs to keep the cue ball the bottom side of this 4 ball. So as long as the cue ball stays this side, which he's managed to achieve, then he just needs to roll the 4 ball onto the 7. And he needs to try and get this dead weight, which he's done as well. And he's got enough angle there to come off the side rail. I'm just going to be rolling this 5 in, no heroics. He'll drop the cue ball onto the 6. Got the angle again, and the cue ball naturally is going to come off that bottom rail and back up towards that left middle. And again, he's gone far enough. He can just pop that 8 in, cue ball down to the right hand side of the 9. And Bill is going to seal the match here, running out, and wins the match by 7 racks to 5. IMAJICA though goes into the 1 loss side, So he's still got his second shot at it, and meanwhile Bill goes on to meet DJ Simon in the next round.